Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a podcast that hasn't really aired for the last 6 months because I've been getting laid, so I can't be asked. Hey, yeah, I'm Aaron X. This is the Wrestle Plug, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the precipice of Wrestlemania 41. Oh, fucking how many of them? 2 nights of WrestleMania. But of course, we also have SmackDown. We have Raw. We have NXT Stand and Deliver. We have about 25,000 indie shows, including Progress. So much wrestling. And come Tuesday, we're all going to hate it so much. But right now, we're all jazzed. We're ready to go. And of course, we cannot predict WrestleMania 41 without an ensemble cast of reprobates. First, joining me to my immediate right, ladies and gentlemen, is the promising young wrestler from All Star South and the unfortunate woman who decided that she wanted to have children with me for no apparent reason. Don't worry, she's not pregnant just yet, although just looking into the eyes of some of our other guests, no doubt she will be pregnant by the end of this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, is, of course, the goddess, Athena Ray.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
How are you?
How are you, everyone?
How are you, audience? Yeah, we can't actually hear you, but how are you?
Speaking loud enough.
Yes, you are. No, I meant the audience, you idiots. Fucking, honestly, death ray, apparently. Anyway, also joining us, below me on the screen, of course, if you're watching this on the YouTubes, ladies and gentlemen, is, of course, the Maple Leaf Magician, the Canadian Destroyer, the Duke of Diabetes. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the podcast after what is probably about a year's hiatus. Luckily, Jay Miller's not here, otherwise he would be on a murderous rampage akin to a school shooting. Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Wilkinson.
He would probably be dead. Yeah. And I'd probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
Also, hi, I'm back. It's been a hot minute.
Hasn't it just? And also a belated happy birthday, Carl Wilkinson. Just 2 days ago, I believe it was your birthday.
It was 34 now. Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm 100.
Yeah, I'm in my 40s now. And yeah, there's someone else here who probably is sitting here thinking 34. I wish I could have that back. Now, speaking of somebody who, if you even halved 34, would still not be interested, ladies and gentlemen, a man who puts the wood in Bollywood from Hounslow itself. Yes, indeed. Mad Ends, Mad Ting, Mad Tanvir Verdi.
How's it going, guys? We all good and ready for WrestleMania. Let's go. Oh!
Jesus Christ.
I
should have put
take
you
it down.
above. Yeah, take it. Yeah, Carl Wilkinson's like, yeah, a little bit too much energy for me there, buddy. You wanna tone
bring
that
it down.
That is what Carl's been hit by.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. Fair enough. All right. Well, Tanvir, of course, is bringing the decibel levels up, while Carl Wilkinson is remaining a nice casual chamomile tea level. Ladies and gentlemen, rounding out our fabulous fatal five-way is, of course, the delicious delinquent of Dorset, a former City heavyweight champion, one half of the IWE Tag Team Championships, not with a big pile of shit, ladies and gentlemen, with an excellent premium professional wrestler, his own son, Owen Sears, and of course, a former pro wrestling heavyweight champion, not to mention he's probably won other things. I'm pretty sure he won the Anytime Championship recently. And now, of course, the shining star of the All-Star Assassination graduation is Kapow Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, the History Maker, the main event, and the man whose penis is so big that some say that if you looked at it from a satellite, it would still smack you in the face. It's Roger Sears.
I have, for fuck's sake, I have so missed the intros.
I try and make them longer every single time. Basically, my hope is that one day the intro will be as long as your penis, and then everyone will die during the intro to this. I turn on the YouTube channel, 14 hours? Yeah. 13 and a half of which are Roger Sears' intro, and half of it is me having a stroke.
What kind?
The good one followed by the bad one. Works for me. Anyway, we're going to predict WrestleMania 41, and Carl Wilkinson is going to continue to look at us with such little expectation of humanity. I've never seen a more angry-looking podcast co-host.
I just don't expect anything from anyone, so it's going to be that way you can never be disappointed, you know?
It's that's so beautifully eloquent and also so depressingly devastating.
Wasn't it?
Do you know what will cheer you up, mate? Wrestlemania Night 1. All right, we're
I
going to start with Night 1, and then we might just review Night 2 as well if we do so fancy it. So we're going to start with the Tag Team Championships, the World Tag Team Championships. The War Raiders, Eric and Ivar, will defend their championships against the New Day, freshly healed. Got rid of Big E, so now nobody really cares about them. But they got a tag team championship match at WrestleMania. I'm expecting the match itself to be pretty decent. Roger Sears, who's walking out WrestleMania as the world tag team champions?
For some reason, for the way they've been going with them, I just get the sense that New Day are going to actually walk away with the titles from this.
Fair.
No.
That's just the feeling I've got from it.
Well, Athena Ray disagrees. Would you care to explain to us why you think
Yes.
the War Raiders are winning? Or is it just because you like guys with beards?
No, I don't know. I just don't think they. I don't know. Just don't see it.
No?
No, just don't see it.
I'm surprised Roger Sears picked a New Day for other reasons, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, here we go.
Hey! Ow, that's my back. I can't do that. So yeah, you think War Raiders will win?
I think
Yeah?
the War Raiders.
Any particular reason for that, or do you just think that makes sense from a booking
I
standpoint?
think it just makes sense.
Does it?
And maybe they could go off again at SummerSlam. I don't know. I just don't think the New
They're
Day
not
really...
taking them all the way to SummerSlam, or the
I
tag
just
team
think
division's
New
like.
Day just... I don't know, they've just dipped.
They've dipped.
Like, they're just not as good anymore.
Fair enough.
And no one likes them. No one cares about them. I know they're heels, but
I don't.
they're just not relevant anymore.
It's a shame because I feel like they're actually doing some decent work as heels. Like, I think like they're more entertaining. Like it's something refreshing. We've seen them as the unicorn gimps for like the last 10 years.
That's true.
So now it's like,
I do like them as heels.
yeah, Kofi Kingston. I never thought he'd ever be a heel. Never thought he'd be a heel. He just had that Rey Mysterio vibe of like, this guy's never going to be a heel because he's just so over. He's so nice. He's probably the most likable person outside of professional wrestling in the real world. So, but he actually carries it off really well. And Xavier Woods is just very, very good at being an all-round entertainer. But I don't feel like the wrestling's there. They don't have the world-class matchups of a Motor City Machine Guns or a DIY where they can go out and have the work rate to match the character. I feel like when you're in a tag team division like this, where nobody cares about the tag titles because they've been pretty stagnant for the last year, you got to have a really good work rate to match your levels of charisma. So that's why the bar was so good, because once they managed to get their charisma up, all of a sudden you had two of the best hard-hitting work rate guys alongside that. Carl Wilkinson, you're a big fan of the War Raiders, are you not?
Oh, big fan, and I think they're gonna win as well. Like the New Day heel turn, the initial thing when they did it on Big E was great. Like Big E was crying, I was crying because I have the emotional range of like a toothpick, but I was really upset. And then the New Day's just kind of gone down, and I don't care. Like I don't even remember if they won like a contenders match to get this one. And then they just like, I honestly don't remember. They might have. I don't remember.
They won the number one contenders match on Raw for a match
Okay.
on Raw, I think, the following week. And then it ended in a schmoz because of a DQ. And they were like, do you know what? Fuck it. Let's run it back at Mania. When in actual fact, they should have just been like, let's just run it at Mania and not have the dirty schmoz anyway.
But I just, unless like Big E shows up to like cost them in some way, like that, I'd have a big pop for that. But I don't see him winning at all.
Nah. I think it'd be a waste of Big E as well if he just like his big return to the ring was to run down and beat up Xavier Woods and cost them the tag titles. I feel like,
but you're right.
I'd enjoy it, but like I'd like to see him have like maybe a run in the Rumble or something. If he's only going to come back for one match, just come back in next year's Rumble, huge pop, everyone goes mad. Maybe have a blow off match against Xavier or Kofi with the other one in the other guy's corner, and then he wins like to say goodbye because he'd rather just be healthy and happy. And he's a great analyst as well. He actually makes the pre-shows really fun to watch. Tanvir, who's winning the tag titles?
I'm going for the New Day. I think New Day's winning it. I think New Day are winning them. But because, like you said, the SmackDown tag division compared to the Raw's one is just so much better. But
yeah,
because
that's not being booked great though, is it either?
it was because you had Aldous do the whiteboard promo, but for Mania, it's like, why are you guys not doing a multi-man match? Why are you just doing this, I think, throwaway match on SmackDown instead?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got New Day winning, and I think for Big E, if he was ever to return, because I read up as well he's training, it's got to be for Goldberg's last match, right? Like the dream
Oh,
match.
dear God.
Because
That's not a
Whose
dream match.
dream?
I know,
Whose
but
dream
just
is
refer
that?
to
it's for
you just
no,
refer to Goldberg versus Big E as a dream
it,
match.
it's
You
no,
Cameron Anderson.
it's not for us, but like it's Big E's
It's not
dream.
for
Like,
anyone.
no, Big E wants to face Goldberg, so it'd be like his dream match, pretty much.
Well, yeah,
Just
because
really
he'll
cool.
look like fucking Doug Williams next to him. Like,
Yeah,
honestly,
I
fuck him.
couldn't care about Big E Goldberg, but if it's Big E's dream match to have a Goldberg match, then yeah,
I mean, that sounds cool. I still don't want it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Of like good
Yeah,
for him, but
Cool. All right. Well, Tanvir's got the New Day. Roger Sears has the New Day. You have Eric and Ivar.
Yeah.
I have the New Day. Carl Wilkinson, you have the New Day, right?
No, I have the Warriors.
Oh, he has War Raiders. Okay, so you got
Yeah.
2 for the Viking Experience, 3 for the New
Oh God,
Day.
remember when they were the Viking Experience?
Yeah, do you remember that? For like 2 weeks, and the internet were like, "Fuck you! I don't like new things. Took your name, took jobs, fuck me." Do you remember when everyone hated? Do you remember when everyone hated Volta's name change, and now we can't even remember that he was called Volta? Like we don't care anymore because we're like, it's one of those things. Once you get used to it, you know. Remember when we hated the United States Championship? And now we're like, it's a pretty cool belt. Actually, it's all right.
I still
Yeah, it's
remember
all right.
the worst name change was Ludwig Kaiser, but we kind of just got used to it.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, he's also deliciously camp, so I find it quite entertaining. He's a pair of jackboots away from getting the IC title for me.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, indeed. All right, so that's the tag team championships. Now let's move on to something that Roger Sears will particularly like. It involves 2 immigrants, allegedly. Rey Mysterio will face El Grande Americano, my favorite new wrestler. I am so I love this gimmick. I love it. And she's like, oh, it's clearly Chad Gable. I'm like, no, it isn't. You just don't get it. It's not Chad Gable.
It is Chad Gable.
You can see the differences. And for starters,
I mean,
Chad Gable ain't that tanned, mate. He's clearly Mexican.
I mean,
It's not. He's
To
called
quote Chris Vandalay, Florence,
Which sounds like a coffee to me.
El Grande Americano is as much Chad Gable as Mr. America was Hulk Hogan. They're not the same person.
Exactly. See? They're
it's
not the same
clearly
person.
almost.
Same person.
You're just a fun poopski. That's what you are. You hate fun. You don't like anything entertaining. You just like boring wrestling.
I don't.
That's why you enjoy where you train. It's a joke. Yeah. Bottom line is, I actually think this match is going to be amazing.
I think it'll be great.
Which is, I got a bit, this will upset. So, Carl Wilkinson's favorite all-time wrestler is Rey Mysterio, if I'm not mistaken.
Definitely top 3. He definitely was when I was a kid. Not as much now, but definitely still
Yeah.
when I was a child.
Yeah, see, for me, I have not enjoyed Rey Mysterio for like 3 years now. I'm just like,
He needs to retire.
hurry up and fuck off,
Yeah.
mate. It's nice to see you from time to time. I don't mind him coming out in a Rumble versus Penta. I thought that was pretty cool.
That was it.
But I don't want to see him week to week on Raw, so I'm just like, meh. But I have El Grande Americano winning because obviously he's going to win because he's the best luchador of all time. I personally will be doing a seminar with Ricky Marvin soon. I'm sure if I ask Ricky Marvin, Ricky, as an esteemed luchador and a man of CMLL and AAA and multiple other Lucha Libre promotions, surely you would agree with me that El Grande Americano could wipe the floor with your ass. Am I right, Ricky? And he'd look at me and go, okay. And then shove his rather ample and very experienced boot right up my fucking ass. Roger says, who's winning? Is it Rey Mysterio or is it El Grande Americano?
Oh, it's El Grande Americano, right? And firstly, massive props to the guy. He's only just come into the company and already got a massive Wrestlemania match. It's incredible, isn't it?
Oh, it's so
Such a
triggering.
short space of time.
Don't you start, Rog.
Yeah, look, you
But
came
what?
into. I don't want to be
But
rude. You walked. I feel like you walked right into All Star and had exactly the same treatment. So if anything, you should be on a par with El Grande Americano, mate. Rolls in. Joel Rebel was like, that's buddy, pal. Just chucks you straight in there. Yeah, he loves you. He loves you. Loves that promo money, pal. Yeah, so obviously Roger Sears is going with El Grande Americano. Tanvir, are you a true patriot or are you a filthy heathen scumbag?
I'm going for my new Starbucks order.
See, that's what I thought when I first heard it. I was like, I'll have an American. Do you know what? If Vince McMahon was here, we'd all be hating it, wouldn't we? We'd all be saying like, oh, "That's good shit, pal. He's named after a coffee. Ha ha, funny. Because coffee is black and he's brown. Ha 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 ha, funny." Because that's Vince McMahon. He's a racist pile of shit. Enjoy prison, you scumbag. Also, nice tash. Nonce. Anyway, allegedly, of course. So yeah, he's going with El Grande Americano. Carl Wilkinson, does your childhood hero fall at the final hurdle of immigration to El Grande Americano?
No, I think I'm gonna go with Ray here, not because of my childhood dreams, but I don't think the El Grande Americano gimmick, it doesn't have doesn't have long legs. It won't last very long. I think he'll lose, he'll get unmasked, and then they'll be like, "Oh wow, that was really quick," and then we'll all unfortunately go back to going. I wish Chad Gable was doing something.
Exactly. We're all like, "Where's Chad Gable when he gets unmasked?"
Do you think he gets unmasked and they like quickly scramble to do like the typical luchador thing of like grab a t-shirt and cover his face?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Then we find out it's Ivy Nile.
Nah, imagine if he has a mask under a mask of like about to unmask and it's like, "Don't worry, I've got a spare."
No, it's just Eric Gable, his twin brother.
That's a great callback to when Kurt Angle switched.
Yeah.
All right. There's it.
Historian.
I know my history. Fucking hell, were you when that happened? 3? Christ almighty. Dear, oh dear. Dating myself at this point. Yeah, that's depressing. Yeah, so basically, you're beautiful and young, and I remember Kurt Angle switching. Do you remember that? Do you not remember that? Oh, okay. You're right, famously switched with your brother when he was due to face, but they were building up to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 19. They said, "We're going to have the match now on SmackDown," and he switched with his brother and quick cheeky.
What year was that?
2003.
3 years on.
I wasn't conscious then.
He did it earlier than that, though, didn't he?
Yes. When was that?
Against The Undertaker, Survivor Series.
Oh,
Really?
fucking hell.
I didn't even.
What, 2001?
No, 2000.
2000. Jesus Christ. Yeah. That was the year you were born. You were literally like 3 months old when that happened. No, well, were you about 10 months old? Survivor Series. What a great time. So we're all going with El Grande Americano, except for Carl Wilkinson, who has Rey Mysterio, correct?
Yes.
All right.
I like to be different.
Yes, we do. I love by the way, the diversity on night one is bonkers, isn't it? Obviously, you've got the New Day and the tag team match. Settle down, Roger. It's okay. There's some white wrestlers coming. We've got. I'm joking. He's actually the most tolerant, but that's what makes the joke funny because he's more tolerant than the rest of us scumbags, and we're all foreign. So that cracks it up. That says, Egypt, India, Kenya, and India. And Canada, and then obviously Roger T is probably the whitest man in Dorset, and here he is, probably the kindest man in Dorset. Which says, well, to be fair, when you consider who else lives in Dorset, punt, that's pretty different. I'm just taking a punt at that suggestion that it might be. Do you know what? Never mind. Anyway, night one is very, very, very diverse. Speaking of diverse, ain't nothing behind closed doors here when Jade Cargill faces Naomi 1-on-1. I really hope this is a fucking violent squash. Well, right, now, obviously, finally, we have a woman on this podcast that's actually worth a shit, at least. So, do you know what? My podcast, my rules, and also it's 18 plus. So if you're still crying at this point, go away. Also, Will Rocket, if you're watching from Vegas, hi, you rich cunt. Fucking arsehole. Honestly. Yeah, Will Rocket's there.
Yeah. Staying in a fancy hotel.
Yeah, he's staying in the New York.
Oh, okay. Is that with Wrestle tours or whatever?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yes, it is. But yeah, Roger prefers Wrestle Tories. Anyway, that's right. I like my fucking Britain like I like my America, full of democracy and freedom.
I like my wrestling like I want, like I
El
like
Grande Americano. That's my kind of gimmick. That's right. I like my coffee like I like my First Amendment, extremely white and full of sugar. No.
That sounds like a line
Definitely.
that Uncle Ruckus would say in Boondocks.
Pretty much. Oh, I love Uncle Roberts.
Well.
Tanvir, shut the fuck up. We finally have a woman who can tell us about women's wrestling on a podcast, and Tanvir wants to talk over. He's like, women with democracy, not my watch, boy. Right, Athena Ray.
Right.
Women's match up here.
Yes.
Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Opinions and also who's winning.
Opinions. I am so excited for this match. I love Jade Cargill and I've always loved Naomi. I think her heel turn has been really well done as well.
Bundesliga.
She has got both of them got Bundesliga actually.
Tell me about it. Certifiable Champions League entrance.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. They're going deep.
Bunda!
Deep run. Like, yeah. No, there ain't no Hamburg here, baby. We're talking Bayern München. We're talking Borussia Dortmund. We're talking certifiable every year. Guaranteed qualification for Champions League and potential domestic trophies every year.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yeah, you love Jade Cargill, don't you? Because you suspiciously seem to have quite the hots for extremely muscular women.
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
That's no secret.
She's more than acceptable because Jade Cargill is leng as hell. Yeah.
Fucking gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Who would I think is winning? I'm gonna say Jade.
Yeah, it got to be
Yeah,
Jade,
it's gotta
surely.
be Jade.
Has to be Jade. What's the point otherwise? Like,
She's so over as well. Like,
do you think that it's a genuine question? You're a woman of colour. Do you feel that they've been represented well in their rivalry and it hasn't been too cliched?
absolutely. No, I don't think it's been cliche at
Okay,
all.
good.
Not at all. I think, yeah, like I say, Naomi's heel turn was really well done. I thought, have you seen the promo she cut when she, like, you probably haven't, to be fair, it was on SmackDown a couple of weeks ago, and her new thing is proceed with caution.
Oh, yeah, no, I've seen that,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think it was so well done.
Yeah, she stole Shorty's gimmick, didn't she, with the yellow
Yeah.
tape and all that. Roger knows. He's worked with Shorty. Remember Shorty from Phoenix? You know, the one who wrestled Luna Tricks?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's been wearing like caution yellow tape gear for years, and then Naomi rocks up of it, and everyone's like, "That's a genius idea." I'm like, "Fucking robbed, mate," is what that is. Out to Shorty, by the way, an amazing tattoo artist as well as a wonderful professional wrestler. So yeah, you got Jade Cargill. I've got Jade Cargill. I feel like that's the obvious choice. Carl Wilkinson.
Yeah, I mean, she has to win, right? She's been out for it's like what, 6-8 months or something, and then comes back, destroys her in the chamber, which I thought was really well done.
Oh, I love that.
That was great.
It was so well done.
Yeah, I mean, I think she has to win this. It would be a very poor choice if she doesn't. And I don't even care if it's a squash. Give it to me for 30 seconds. Jade just crushes her, and then call it a day.
I do worry that Naomi's going to be a bit lost in the shuffle if she gets twatted by Jade Cargill too
I
quickly.
think the rivalry will continue though.
Think it'll go further?
For a little bit longer.
Yeah, you don't think it's going to be just that payoff at Mania and we're
It'll
done?
be like a trilogy, like
A trilogy?
Like they normally do 3 matches and like goes like WrestleMania.
The modern day Rock Austin, Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
Well, most of them do like do 3 matches.
Well, back in the day they did. I feel like they're a little bit more nuanced about what they present to us. I feel like when Vince McMahon was in charge, it was always 50-50 booking, which was garbage because, like, remember Kevin Owens beat John Cena. We're like, oh my God, huge fucking upset, Money in the Bank, amazing moment. And then John Cena proceeds to beat him in every match for the next 5 years as like payback. And it's like, cool. So it's not really a big deal. You've kind of squashed that magic of that moment more so, which is a real shame. Shout out to Kevin Owens, by the way. Get well soon, my brother. And obviously, Carl Wilkinson at the end, depressed.
So honestly, that might be why I look so sad, because I know he won't be at Mania, and I'm so upset.
Yeah, nothing for Randy Orton as far as I know right now either.
He's got an open challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, has he? So, what do you reckon, Sami Zayn? Well, I'll tell you what, we'll talk about that when we get to it, because right now we're talking about Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Tanvir, who's winning?
I'm thinking ahead. I'm gonna say Naomi. I'm going with Naomi because if Bianca wins that triple threat, at least Bianca's got a first challenger in Naomi right there. And like you said, I feel like if Naomi loses, she'll be lost in the shuffle. And we've got Backlash as well, so if Naomi wins here, Jade can get a win back at Backlash if need be, or something like that. So, plus Naomi's been with the company, she left, come back. It'd be nice to give her that like singular Mania moment, because it was cool last year to do the 6 women, have Jade, Bianca, and Naomi have a moment, but just
she had it at WrestleMania 33 though, didn't she?
Yeah, she won the championship in her hometown.
Oh, okay. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, fucking nerd.
And I think
I'm
Not
still
much of
going
an
with
historian
Naomi.
now, are we? Too busy
I'm-
wanking off over Jinder Mahal highlights, mate. Oh, you fucking hair.
Tiger Jeet Singh, mate. The classics.
All right, so you've got Naomi. Interestingly enough, you had Jade Cargill, right? I've got Jade Cargill. Carl Wilkinson's got Jade Cargill. Roger Sears, the match that you're probably very closely affiliated to. Are you going for Jade Cargill or Naomi?
I feel it's almost. Is it too obvious that Jade wins it? But I
Maybe.
can't see Naomi winning it. That's the thing, and I'm very much echoing like what you said. I'm worried what happens to Naomi if she just gets battered at Mania. Where does she go after that? Because I think her heel turn's been great, and it would be such a shame if all of the work she's put in for this match is just for this match, and she gets battered, and then it's like, yeah, now nothing else to do with her because we're just building Jade and Bianca now. So
Do
I
we
don't know.
unveil?
I think
Do we unveil a surprise? Maybe like somebody comes down. See, now I was looking at where the matches were placed, and I thought if the women's title, the triple threat match, if that was on night one, and then Naomi and Jade was on night two, I thought Bianca was going to turn on Jade Cargill and turn heel and join Naomi and say, "Yeah, we actually both kicked the shit out of you," and that's how they get Naomi over on Jade Cargill, and then it kind of builds a more encompassing rivalry. Because in many people's estimations, Bianca Belair comes across. She's getting booed quite a bit. I've noticed in the triple threat rivalry, which we'll talk about in a bit. So for me, I'm like, but do we think maybe they unveil somebody else, or do you think maybe Nia Jax comes down and costs Jade Cargill the match and goes, "I'm not like most girls."
or what if Bianca does come out and interfere, turns heel, and then when you get to the triple threat, she's a monster heel going into it.
Doesn't that kind of just make it easy for Jade Cargill to run in and kick the shit out of her and cost her the triple threat because there's no disqualification?
Well, yeah, but then you've got a reason to protect Bianca for not winning it in that sense, haven't you?
Yeah, and then you've also got that shouldn't Naomi be getting involved, and then it's like now you're taken away from Rhea and Io Sky, and it's like uh-oh, and now all of a sudden people are like, and a match that for me has been quite shaky in its booking and its build up. It's been better than the other women's match in my opinion for build, but yeah. Who do you have then, Rog? Jade Cargill or Naomi?
I think Jade Cargill wins it. That's yeah.
So everyone has Jade Cargill except for Tanvir, I believe, has Naomi.
Yeah.
All right. You just want to be different, you edgelord, don't you?
fucking Mark.
Fucking Mark!
Mark.
Good stuff. Now, oh man, the representation here is absolutely baller. Dummy, yeah. The WWE United States Championship is on the line when LA Knight defends against Jacob Fatu. He is so PH fart, isn't he? He's so leng. Fucking love Jacob Fatu. He's just a gangster, mate. But this is quite a hard one to call for a lot of people. Roger says LA Knight to retain or Jacob Fatu to become the new United States champion.
I just think that where they can go story-wise probably makes me lean towards Jacob Fatu winning it. Because of what they've teased already in the bloodline, I think that might be where they're going. So I'm going to say Jacob Fatu.
Jacob Fatu to win the United States Championship, says Roger Sears. Tanvir, who's winning the United States title or indeed retaining?
It's fucking Jacob Fatu. It's Jacob
Is
Fatu,
it?
man. I love that man too much, and if he loses at Mania, at least I like LA Knight, but this has been building to Jacob Fatu winning at Mania, winning the US title. It's got to be Jacob.
Carl Wilkinson, Jacob Fatu or LA Knight?
I'm also on the Jacob Fatu train. Like, I like LA Knight. I think he's fine. Beating up Logan Paul felt really good. But I mean, Fatu's just a monster, isn't he? Just a big, disgustingly beautiful moonsault for a man of his size. Just
Yeah.
And then give us Jacob and Solo at some point, even though I have no interest in Solo since Jacob showed up.
Yeah, we said that. He's dying.
Absolutely zero. I do not care.
Dying a death out there.
Doing Jacob
All right.
Tonga as well would be decent.
Yeah, Tama Tonga to be fair, I prefer Tama Tonga to stay with Jacob Fatu. I think he does he'd be better off served with Jacob Fatu as like a little bit of a heavy. Depends, because Jacob's so over, they might just have to turn him face at some point. Athena Ray, who wins the United States Championship at WrestleMania?
Jacob Fatu.
Does it? Does it
Yeah.
really?
I love LA Knight, as you know.
Yeah, I know. She's got it well bad for LA Knight. She calls him daddy. It's so funny.
Right, Eli Drake.
Sorry?
What?
Tonto, see?
Oh, he's making Eli Drake. This is what Tanvir does. You have to put up with his rampant autism. He'll just come steaming in and just randomly make a comment. Everyone's like, yeah, cool, thanks, special needs kid. Moving on. He's, some might say he's whipping up a storm on this podcast.
I mean, if you don't acknowledge it and like just pretend it never happens, like you can just move on.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Storm.
He does look a little bit like Jay Miller since he shaved his head, to be fair. If Jay Miller was like an immigrant, he'd look like that, I reckon.
I crossed the border. I made it massive.
Jay Miller
Unless
couldn't
you-
cross the border.
Unless you got trained by Randy Orton, I
He
don't care.
couldn't cross his T's or dot his I's.
Oh, do you remember? Yeah, the Jay Miller. So this is like this country boy used to come on the podcast. He used to be all right, and then he just became, I don't know, like most Americans,
Unbearable?
probably. Yeah, unbearable. But he used to claim that he was trained by Randy Orton, even though he was younger than me. Like, yeah, he was like, yeah, Randy Orton trained me at OVW in 2002. You know, the same year that Randy Orton only had just broken in and was nowhere near at a level where he could train anybody, and was literally like carrying people's bags and then shitting in them by the sounds of it. Yeah, that Randy Orton apparently trained Jay Miller in 2002 and taught him how to promo and do the RKO.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then he
Fatu.
moved on to a sports podcast and it was garbage.
Yeah, I tried my hardest to elevate it, but it is what it is. I think LA Knight retains. Yes, I believe Solo Sikoa is going to interrupt in this matchup and cost Jacob Fatu to build their rivalry.
I've sort of been like hinting at like a bit of
the friction.
Yeah.
Yes. We do love friction on this podcast, don't we, Roger? Lots and lots of friction. We upset a lot of people here, don't we? Fucking marks. Try more. I just think Solo Sikoa interferes. I also think they've got nothing for Solo Sikoa. This is the only place where it really makes sense for him to be inserted. So yeah, unless he's got like a massive injury. So the only thing I can see is maybe he gets cost here. Jacob Fatu maybe rears up on him and goes, "What the fuck is your problem? You cost me." And then Tama Tonga probably jumps in from behind, because as much as I want Tama to be with Jacob, Solo probably badly needs the Tama Tonga rub at this point. And then when Tonga Loa comes back, they can be the Mean Street Posse of Samoa. So do you remember that? Remember Pete Gas?
Oh, you mean all Shane's homies?
Oh, they have to wear sweater vests if they're doing that.
I don't know if he's watching it, but do you reckon DMP looks like he could be in the Mean Street Posse?
100%.
He strikes this. Yeah.
Does he wear an ascot?
No, but I don't know. He's quite entertaining, but he feels quite. I don't know. He's just got a Mean Street Posse vibe about him. Like, I found them very entertaining. I thought they were really good. Like, they're one of those things that when you watch back, you think, Jesus, what a bunch of jobbers. But as a kid, they were like Kai and Tai and Taka Michinoku and all that stuff. You were like, sick. Val Venus, fuck yeah, porn star. Like, it's cool. You say, gross. You were like literally not even born. Most of these people were wrestling, so.
Yeah, like when Taka Michinoku
Val
got
Venus is.
a concussion.
How dare you suggest that Governor Sean Morley is a piece of shit?
Is a piece of shit. If you're listening, I don't care. I think you're a cunt.
Fair enough. I love how you've just started random hate with Val Venus for no reason. Like, nobody cares, but. Can you imagine if like Joel like just goes, do you know what? We've managed to secure Sean Morley for a seminar. We fucking haven't. Okay, not anymore, we haven't. Fuck that guy. Isn't he Canadian, Carl Wilkinson?
No. We're now
Pretty sure he is.
citizenship. No.
Is it like Brian
no.
Adams? You like apologise for him on several occasions.
Oh, I don't apologize for Brian. Hey, I don't apologize for Brian Adams. I apologize for Celine Dion.
Fair enough. Anyway, politics, you know. There's probably a load of Americans who are stick to fucking wrestling, not politics. You're not allowed an opinion unless you're white. Mm-hmm. That's why Roger Sears does all our politics for us. That's right. That's right. I want 6 Steve Cherokee, Roger Sears. So yeah. Everyone's got Jacob Fatu except for me. I've got LA Knight because I like to be different and because I'm a gigantic nerd. Right,
Edgelord.
the
Not to be confused
WWE
with a different
Women's
N-word.
Championship. Shut up,
Oh,
Tanvir. The WWE Women's Championship is on the line as Tiffany Stratton defends against Charlotte Flair. Carl Wilkinson, I know you keep up with the product. I don't know
yeah.
what you've been thinking of some of these promos, and obviously
Oh,
it came to a head with this
yeah.
extraordinary in-ring promo where they basically were just making really shoot shit remarks at each other. Charlotte Flair said, "Get Kaiser out of my DMs." He then had a good time. Basically, Kaiser, Ludwig Kaiser is more over than these two women out of this rivalry, which is a
Yeah.
bit of a shame. It is a shame because all things that have Charlotte Flair in them used to be untouchable. They used to be gold, the best matches. And yet, this has, for me, been the biggest bomb in the build up to a WWE Women's Championship match in recent memory. I'm so disappointed. And I feel
Yeah.
like they've kind of knocked back the credibility of women's wrestling a bit. Before I ask the boys, I want your opinions as a woman if I'm sort of overreaching the mark, or do you feel like it genuinely does let down women's wrestling?
I think it's been a huge disappointment.
Yeah.
When obviously Charlotte Flair won the Royal Rumble, I was like, oh yeah, I think she's gonna go after Tiffany Stratton, which she did. Loved that when she attacked her, first of all. This is gonna be fucking great. It's gonna be like full of like bitchy comments and like, yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I certainly have bitchy comments.
Certainly, but it's too shooty, I think.
Too shooty.
Like,
you hear that, America? It's too shooty.
I just don't appreciate bringing in their personal lives. I don't think when Tiffany mentioned about sort of hinted at her divorce with Andrade, I think that was a bit of a.
Would you say that people who make shoot remarks on platforms, with cameras on them is a bit unnecessary?
I think it's unnecessary.
Yeah, very unprofessional. Wouldn't you say that, Raj? Very unprofessional.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
How could you?
Yeah. How could you? Yeah, fucking. All right. That being said, with your opinions on that, who do you think wins?
Charlotte Flair.
I think Charlotte Flair takes it
think
off Tiffany Stratton and triggers the internet further.
Yes.
Because the internet's going to be triggered more over this, I think.
I think so too.
Do you think Tiffany Stratton roasted Charlotte Flair? Because for me, until that promo, Charlotte Flair was just absolutely annihilating her on the mic. But I feel like Charlotte Flair, as much as I feel like she's kind of having a bit of a midlife crisis since the divorce. That's what obviously I don't know. I'm not part of Charlotte's life. I feel bad for her. Breakups are horrible. We've both been through long breakups. Like, they're not fun. Everyone here has probably suffered, with a breakup and things like that. It's not fun to lose somebody. It's not fun to have your life fall apart in front of your very eyes. And when you then factor in that your life is then displayed for the world on every dirt sheet, that's fucking horseshit and that hurts. And that sucks for anybody, much less a star, a celebrity. I don't care that she's getting paid shitloads of money and that her second name's Flair. It still sucks. That being said, she hasn't handled this rivalry well. She's spoken over Tiffany a lot. She hasn't really got her over. The only thing that I really enjoyed was the brawl when they were in Europe.
Loved the brawl.
Thought the brawl was quite good.
Really good.
Tiffany coming off the Titantron was quite cool, I thought, the set. But other than that, I'm just like...
The promos leading up to it have just been so wafty. Like, they've just not had any substance to it at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's just been,
bitch,
you're a bitch. You're a bitch.
Yeah.
You're divorced. Like, it's just like.
I will say, from a very stupidly male perspective, they both look fucking gorgeous.
They are both beautiful.
They look amazing. And I think that for me disappoints it more. And I'm disappointed because for years and years, Charlotte Flair goes out there and whether people like it or not, has the best matches in the company. When she wrestled Asuka at WrestleMania 34, for my money, it was the best match of the night. It wasn't a strong Mania by any means, but it was a great match. Her match with Rhea Ripley is arguably the best women's match of all time. It's definitely up there.
I think
it's incredible. So, but then you watch this, you think, shit, the match, for my money, the match desperately needs to be good, because if it's not, people are going to remember this as an all-time stinker. Roger Sears, Tiffany Stratton or Charlotte Flair, and your general opinions on how they've handled this rivalry.
It's not been good, has it? And I hate to say it, you're probably going to end up seeing a lot of blame getting placed with Charlotte for this, because where she's more of the vet, she's kind of been expected to carry this, especially when a lot of people have said Tiffy's not ready for this match. This is too big a match for her too soon in her career. So Yeah, it's not been great. And yet everybody was expecting so much more out of it. And I think, like you just said, this has almost got to blow the roof off at Mania, or else, you know, it'll just be considered an absolute waste of time. I kind of agree with Florence, and I think that Charlotte's going to win.
Florence?
Who's
Sorry.
Florence?
Outrageous.
Sorry. Athena Ray. Sorry.
God damn it. It's all right for him using his fucking real name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Hot
doesn't
dog
shoot
wants
them,
everyone to
Jesus.
know who he is.
Alright.
It's
too
too late now. The cat's out of the bag. He's
Sorry.
one podcast in and everyone's fucking.
Everyone knows my real name.
Yeah, and you know what the internet fans like. They're going to all be in your DMs now. Show us your feet. Fair enough. Fair enough. Literally, if we get bang up views, I'm going to have you on every week just to do that. That's jokes. All right, Roger Sears, who you got? Tiffany Stratton or Charlotte Flair?
Charlotte Flair.
Dan Beer.
I'm going Tiffany Stratton.
Interesting.
I'm sticking with Tiffy time. I think the thing, like you two have both emphasized, this match has to blow up the roof off. And the thing is, I think the one moment that I think soured a lot of people was at Royal Rumble. The moment I think Charlotte eliminated pretty much majority of the field, because it's like, well, there's your winner, and it's like, so I think Tiffany is gonna win this one. And I mean, the thing is, she had the banger with Becky Lynch in NXT as well, so she can go at like a higher level.
Yeah. I don't really feel like the women. I'm not in doubt of their abilities. I just wonder if they're going to. You know, for all intents and purposes, the dirt sheets are saying that they've taken it too far. There's a lot of personal remarks. That, you know, like Tiffany looked like a right bitch when she went. You know, when she went, oh, what's that? 0-3 when she was talking about relationships, and then threw the mic down and ran away. Which, as a face, made her look garbage. Like you got to stand there. You cannot leave, because that makes Charlotte Flair. That shows me you're as scared of Charlotte Flair whipping your ass.
And you mentioned face as well.
I get the feeling as well as that if they don't click in ring wise, it could go the way of the match we saw at All In of Britt Baker v Mercedes Moné, where nobody really realistically gave a shit, to be honest.
No,
AEW
yeah.
announcers anyway.
God hates AEW.
Right, that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fine.
How dare you kick the?
I didn't mean
How
to.
dare you kick the
I
camera?
didn't mean
Unprofessional is what that is. Honestly, fans will like it though, because it's more foot action. Carl Wilkinson, Charlotte Flair, or Tiffany Stratton, and your thoughts in general on this build-up?
I mean, until they had these like shooty promos, I didn't give a shit. Like it was just like Charlotte wins Rumble, lol. I'm like, I didn't care, to be honest. I still don't really care. I haven't been invested in Charlotte in a really long time. I'd like to see Tiffany win, but I don't think she will. I think Charlotte's probably going to take this. Maybe set up another match at Backlash or whatever the hell is next, because I don't pay attention. But get the win back eventually. But now she's going to lose it this weekend.
Right. It's gonna fucking upset the internet, isn't it? To be honest, I'm gonna be so fucking triggered. I honestly don't know, but I'm gonna say Charlotte Flair just because they're so invested in her. They spend so much money on her. They kind of have to put the belt on her to kind of appease that thing, and you know. But then, realistically, Tiffany Stratton winning would be far better, because Charlotte will have to strive more to beat her father's record of, you know, 6, which for me is kind of like an asterisk, because she won so many belts in such a short space of time. It doesn't really feel like a humongous achievement. Roger Sears looks like he's checking out a fly in the corner. It's really funny. He's probably talking to somebody else, but it looks like he's like, is that Niwar about to clothesline me? Okay. Payback's a bitch. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Probably the hardest one to call, actually, from a storyline perspective, because you don't really know where it's going. The rest kind of feel like they've got a trajectory where you can think, well, you know, that person's got the momentum, like a Jacob Fale too. You think, well, he's probably going to win. Whereas with this, I'm like, fair enough. A lot of heavy hitting matchups here. The winner of the Royal Rumble, Jey Uso, will not main event WrestleMania, but he will face Gunther on night 1 for the World Heavyweight Championship. Yeet. Thank you very much. Jey Uso versus Gunther, Kyle Wilkinson. Do you care that much, considering that we have already seen it quite a few times?
Oh, you mean 3 times where Jay loses every time and kind of gets mauled like a bear? I
Yeah.
mean, I would have bet my house that Cena was going to win the Rumble. Like I would have bet everything on that, but I didn't because I don't have anything. But
Depression.
no, it's not depression. I don't own a house.
No, you could have bet your depression on it.
No, that there's no monetary value to that.
Oh, okay.
No.
But
That's
then
interesting.
Jay wins, and I'm like, okay, let's go, cool. And then he eats through the crowd all the time. The entrance is always super cool, but I don't really care, and that's upsetting because it's a world title match. I
Doesn't
think
feel like
Jay,
a main event, does it?
no.
And that's bearing in mind it's got, in my opinion, the best wrestler in the world in it.
I mean, I could see Jay winning and then hold it for like 3 weeks. So I'm gonna say Jay here, but I don't think it'll be very long,
Really?
which is crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Jay here.
All right. Carl Wilkinson has Jey Uso coming away as new world heavyweight champion. Tanvir.
I'm going with Jey Uso because him winning plays into another prediction I have down the line.
Interesting. No doubt we will hear that at some point. Roger Sears.
It's been weird actually because yeah, Jay winning the Rumble was a real shock, and I thought for the first few weeks this was like really exciting that these two were going to go at it at Mania. It feels like it's kind of really dipped under the other matches now. It's like it's been dwarfed by everything else that's going on at Mania. And I can understand why people are kind of like, I don't really care anymore. So I think it's been set up for Jay to win it. So I'm going with Jay, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. But I'm going with Jay anyway.
What do you think, Athena Ray / Florence?
I agree with Roger, like how
Of course you do.
it's just completely
Can
died. It's obviously got this triple threat, which we'll talk about momentarily, with Punk, Rollins, and Reigns, which has now become the main event. And
Has to really.
It's a championship.
Are
match,
you
man.
are you offended that the triple threat is the main event over the world heavyweight title?
I'm not offended.
Would you personally book
But
the world heavyweight championship as the main
It's a
event?
championship match. I'd put that as a main event personally, and maybe have the.
I mean, Psycho Sid was in a championship match. Doesn't deserve to be in a main event, though, does it? God rest his soul.
I don't know. I do think Jay will win.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm also not sure because like Gunther's already built himself up as this really powerful, undefeatable person. He had the IC title for so long. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with him afterwards. Like, what would you do with Gunther if he lost the title?
Money in the Bank.
I think,
Would he go for the big one?
like, I personally don't think it belongs in a main event because it doesn't feel like a main event. Also, like, for instance, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes.
That's a main event.
Yeah, it's not a first time match either, by the way, because like if anyone remembers, Stardust had a crack at the United States Championship when Cena was champion. They've probably had a few other matches as well, but it feels like a big deal, and it's the first time where they're two mega stars, mega flash. Whereas I've already seen Jey Uso versus Gunther 2 or 3 times. I must admit, I'm kind of in the reverse of Roger Sears. I didn't give a shit when Jey Uso won the Rumble. I was like, cool, whatever. Don't care. And then I was like, yeah. And then the rivalry, I was like, I don't care about this because Gunther's just slapping around like a bitch every week. And then they had the segment a few weeks ago where Jimmy Uso got fucking clarted. Like, it was really violent, really grim, and it told a great story. And then the following week, Jey Uso comes out and cuts the best promo of his career for me,
Absolutely.
where he's like super emotional and he's like, you know what? Now that you've like shown me what true fear is, I don't have anything left to fear, which means I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to get you at WrestleMania. I'm going to get mine for my family. and I'm going to make you pay for what you did. And I thought, you know, that's actually quite powerful, and it drew me in. And Gunther's acting in that moment was brilliant. Like, he looked genuinely like, oh, fuck, I fucked up. Like, I pushed him too far. The whole point is that he's like a man has been pushed too far. You know, you pushed this wonderful human being over the edge, and now he's going to turn into a psycho and kick the fuck out of you at Mania. The biggest problem for Jey Uso is this really unpopular opinion. He's not a very good singles worker, in my opinion. I don't think he's that good a wrestler. His matches are quite wafty. His super kicks are very, very meh. Like, obviously, Roger Sears is a high authority when it comes to using the super kick, because he only uses one in his bloody matches, not 55 like the fucking Jackson goobers. Oh Christ, what is this fucking Kurt Angle? You got a lot to explain for yourself, kicking out 4 finishes all the time, you shithouse. Yeah, I just don't think he's like his matches aren't terrible, but they're not fantastic. They're not main event worthy matches. Yes, he's main event Jay. He's got amazing character. Obviously, he's an amazing human being. We love the Usos. I love yeeting. It's so much fun. Pat McAfee going mad on the announce table every week is bananas jokes. It's so much fun, but I don't really care. Like, if he wins the world title, I'm like, awesome. Who's going to take it off of him? Because there are so many more guys who are far better on Raw and far more serious big stars who should be having it. And again, I'm going to upset the world when I say Logan Paul should be your world heavyweight champion, because he's the best heel in wrestling. By far.
I have to agree.
Not even close. Dominic Mysterio can't catch him. That tells you everything you need to know about how good Logan Paul is as a heel now. And also, in ring, so much more explosive, so much more exciting. And he's also a global recognized cunt, which is fantastic. So, you know, people may not like that, but ultimately, that draws in money. If you put Jordan Peterson in the ring next week, people would love to see it. They would. You know, you don't have to like these people, but the bottom line is they draw eyeballs, they draw value. They are stars for a reason. And to be honest, I'd much rather watch Logan Paul than Stephen Amell, who just, you know, oh, I'm a nerd of the people. Shut up, you dork. You run around playing an archer. Nobody cares. Like, you had your moment.
He plays a lawyer now.
Yeah, I miss
exactly. You miss what?
Bad Bunny.
You miss Bad Bunny was great as well.
Bad Bunny
Bad Bunny was
awesome.
I mean, he's also a certifiable multi-millionaire. Like, you know, he doesn't need to wrestle.
Handsome motherfucker. He's a handsome.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's a good-looking guy. I mean, all Puerto Ricans are gorgeous, aren't they? Come on, man. But yeah, he's it is what it is. I think Jey Uso wins the title. Makes sense for him to win the title. I don't see what the point is in Gunther retaining otherwise, because then all of a sudden you've built this guy up to a point where he's selling crazy amounts of merch. Then you cut his legs off. He's just going to be another LA Knight swanning around in the mid-card. 2 over, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, that's my pick. Have we all picked on that one?
Yeah,
I think so.
Carl Wilkinson? Did you Carl Wilkinson? Who did you pick?
Yeah, I said Jay.
Yeah, Jay. Cool. So we've all got Jay, I think.
Yeah, I said Jay.
But Roger Sears said he wouldn't be surprised if Gunther won because he's quite the Austrian enthusiast. Who's your favourite Austrian, just out of curiosity?
Oh, for the love of God. I mean,
I'm just like, is it Gunther? Is it one of those world-renowned skiers? Is it crazy Basement Joe? Is it, you know, crazy genocide Adolf? Like, you know,
I have a shout. Alaba.
Nice.
David Alaba is your favourite Austrian of all time.
He was a decent defender.
What a shit fucking pick that is.
He was a decent defender.
Decent
I don't even know who
defender.
that is.
That was Big Set Lizarazume, but ain't nobody remembering him either. Like, fucking hell. Jesus Christ. The Cafu of Austria. Good stuff. Good stuff. Congratulations. You're an amazing defender in a team that doesn't know how to score any goals. Fun. And before you say anything, yes, they did all right at the last World Cup. Shut up. Christ almighty. Excuse me, I think I'll find I got out of the group stage. You can just hear them from here, can't you? The internet marks, honestly. All right, the main event of WrestleMania Night 1, and then we'll wrap things up. And then, of course, we'll bring you Night 2's predictions tomorrow because we don't want to overload you poor souls. So the main event of WrestleMania Night 1, an official main event, finally, CM Punk, Kyle Wilkinson's favorite wrestler, gets his hiatus so much like I do.
Oh.
So funny. He hates it more than I do. He legit does. CM Punk finally gets the main event WrestleMania. Not a proper main event though, is it? It's not night 2, is it? So kind of a half main event, you know? You know, you're transitioning into a main event, but you got to go full hog and have the chop before everyone's going to take it truly seriously, I'm afraid, darling. But he's in a triple threat matchup against Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. And let's be honest, I actually think that's a shoot when Roman Reigns says, you should be thanking me, because without me, this wouldn't be a main event. Because Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, but a main event in Raw, and it sucked. Wasn't very good. Even a steel cage match was a bit poo. Do you know what? You know why? Because CM Punk's not that good a wrestler. There's your fucking harsh breakdown. You want to sit there and tell me I reckon right now I could name 15 guys in WWE who are infinitely better in-ring workers than CM Punk. Infinitely. Like I think it's that easy. I really do. I actually do care about this triple threat, though, and a lot of that has to do with Paul Heyman being the shithouse that he is. Roman Reigns walking past him was very, very funny and being like, and then everyone's put this like romantic music over the top, like he's heartbroken. It's good shit. Obviously, Paul Heyman will be in CM Punk's corner. That was the favor. Feel like there's another twist in this. Roger Sears, the main event of night 1 of WrestleMania. Should it be the main event? And if so, or if not, who do you think is coming out of it the victor?
There's something to say about star power over world titles. And this, for me, kind of proves that point of you don't have to have the world title go on last if there's a match with bigger star power in it. There are countless other manias that have got it wrong by not doing this, but they seem to have actually got it right on this one, considering the matches that it's up against. But I agree with you in the sense of you really want a main event WrestleMania, then that's night 2 and it's not night 1. It's like you're being thrown a bone of like, you can have the main event at night 1. Not really the same, is it?
I don't think it is.
I want to see, I don't know if it'll happen, but I almost want to see Paul Heyman turn on the both of them and side with Rollins, and Rollins wins it. But for some reason, I can't see them ending night 1 like that.
Nah,
if this wasn't the last match, I could definitely see that happen. But seeing as it is the last match, I don't know. I actually find this one really hard to call. I kind of get the impression that Punk might win it. So I really am struggling on which way to call it, but I'm gonna go with Punk. That's what I'm going with.
Tanvir, I don't know why you didn't just mention that in the chat. I'm quite happy to talk about it right now.
I didn't want to lose my thought, and I didn't want to interrupt Roger, so.
That's fair enough. Yeah. Oh, what a surprise. He doesn't want to interrupt somebody. Roger, you have CM Punk winning, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, Tanvir just put a little message in our private Zoom and said, are we discrediting Sasha Banks versus, who was it?
Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair. Like, there you go, I already forgot. Sorry. Yeah, but the thing is, right, I feel like people are going to get more offended by people discrediting that because it was the first ever main event of 2 women of color, which was amazing, by the way. There's no discrediting that whatsoever. But that shouldn't be the only reason why we say that what an amazing main event. It should be an amazing main event because it has star power, because it has pedigree, because it has a draw, because it makes money, because it has 2 people who are incredibly talented. And I'm saying that I personally feel that, you know, those 2 women certainly can live up to those hypes. Watching the match back, actually, it doesn't feel like a main event. That's my opinion. I didn't think it was that good a match. I don't think it touches Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. I don't think it touches half of what Asuka's done in this business. You know, there's probably matches weekly on Stardom that are better than that main event. It was a good match for what it was worth. Also, I think Sasha Banks, for the most part, has been pretty shit since. Although I will say, from what I've heard, her match on AEW was an absolute certifiable banger against what's Athena? Yeah, not you, the other one.
Yeah. The other one was actually good.
You're good as well. Shut your face. So yeah, Carl Wilkinson. Sorry.
I have to believe WrestleMania Night 1 main events are main events because Kevin Owens has two. And like,
Stone
okay,
Cold.
the one against Stone Cold, I'm sorry, that's amazing. That's fun. That one was awesome. I
That's
lost
the
my
best
shit.
night one main event ever.
It was very fun.
I
Yeah.
lost my mind. And then the next year, I think it was 39, or was it 40? I think it was when him and Sammy won the tag titles.
39.
39.
Yeah.
39, 39, wasn't it? No, 40 was when Cody beat Roman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then the night one was The Rock and thingy. To be fair, The Rock and...
yeah.
See, that's the thing, though. If you look at the night one main event, so you've got what? The Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Not like pedigree-wise a massive main event, but from a work rate, incredible match. Like, truly spectacular five-star classic. And arguably one of the best tag team matches in recent memory. You've got fucking the other tag match, which is all out glamour, The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Like, fuck me. Like, that is a fucking main event. You know, so then looking at some of these other matches, you think Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair match up to that? Not really. You know, like what else have we had as a night one Mania main event? Didn't we have
Was the
what was the COVID first night main event?
Wasn't it the I was just gonna mention that. Wasn't it the Boneyard match?
Yeah, it was the
Hey,
Boneyard, man. That was
Oh,
actually
that
fucking
was fun.
banging.
That was
But
Yeah.
is it disqualified because it's a cinematic? You know, like
Well,
I
but
thought
then
it was amazing,
But
but
then it's Taker's last match and Star Power, so that's a tough one.
I've also, because it was the COVID mania, I've never gone back to watch it because it's real tough to watch it in an empty performance center.
yeah. We were talking about that earlier, actually, how weird it was watching, like, because I've just got her into Clarkson's farm, and there's like an episode where the pandemic hits, and we were remembering, obviously, COVID from our perspective, and I remember sort of just thinking like how shit it was watching live football, or watching the FA Cup final. I think Arsenal beat Chelsea in the final, and in COVID, there was no one in the stadium when they beat them 2-1, and you're like. That means so much less to me than if there was a crowd there. I don't know why. Like it's still a big deal that it won the match, but it's just not the fucking same. And it was the same with wrestling, the Thunderdome, and you heard that they were taping different bits and redoing them because they didn't work. It's like, really? Like, just nah. It just didn't work for me. So, but my main point is the first night main events are great. But I don't feel like any of them have had the grandeur of the second night for the most part. So I now look at this one and I think that is a big deal. Having these three go after each other is a big fucking deal. Who do I think is going to win? I refuse to accept anyone other than my tribal chief winning. Roman Reigns must win because he is amazing and he's fucking gorgeous. The man crush is just getting intense at this point. But also, I feel like you can't take Paul Heyman away from him. It's too big a deal to just bin it off. CM Punk is such a whiny little fucking bitch. I'm sure he's probably a nice guy when he can be, but you know what? All these promos, all he ever does is come out and whine. Like a complete twat every week. It's like whinge, 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 whinge. And if you look at all the stuff he's done since he came back, first of all, he hasn't done anything that interesting. The most interesting thing he did was his Drew McIntyre rivalry, and I feel like Drew McIntyre carried that entire rivalry and put his back on the line to make CM Punk look as good as he did. If you take that away, I don't think people really care that much. His stuff with, name me a serious rivalry CM Punk's had other than that. I don't think he actually has.
He hasn't.
Seth Rollins is the only one, and those matches have been really fucking poor. And Seth Rollins has had to carry those matches for my money because he's a better worker and, dare I say it, a better promo. I think his promo work in the build-up to this has been wonderful. Him trying to extort Paul Heyman, at the end of that show was really cool. And Seth Rollins has actually become one of my more favorite parts of WWE. Very entertaining. He's really become the go-to guy. People used to look at him 5 or 6 years ago as, Seth Rollins is your go-to guy. He can do something. He can carry somebody. He can do whatever, but he's not a big star. Now he feels like the go-to guy, but he is a big star as well. And that makes it a bit different. It makes him feel like a really special day. It makes him feel almost like kind of like a bombastic version of Daniel Bryan in the sense
Yeah.
of I know he's going to go out there and have a great match. I know he's going to entertain the fuck out of me, and you're going to love him doing it because he's just brimming with charisma. Roman Reigns is a fucking star. Every time he comes out, I'm captivated. He talks so beautifully now. He's an amazing promo. And then we have CM Punk, who admittedly is very popular because he's an everyman, but also, as I've maintained for the best part of, what, 15 years now, CM Punk was a big deal because he was a big star in a very, very shit era of wrestling where nobody had the balls to cut even a half decent promo. One of the biggest stars alongside him was Zack Ryder. That, for me, tells you everything you need to know about that era of wrestling. CM Punk was a big star in an era of wrestling when there were no stars other than John Cena.
It was cool too during the contract signing when Heyman told Punk's main eventing and Seth losing his mind of saying the main event of WrestleMania is special and Punk doesn't deserve it this way. Of like, shit, like shit just got real.
If I'm supposed to believe this is somewhat real, if I'm suspending my disbelief, I've essentially been told that he's been handed that.
Yeah.
He's been given it. He hasn't earned it. So I'm like, cool. So you whinge like fuck for your whole life that you don't get to main event WrestleMania, even though you've done literally everything else. And by the way, CM Punk has had a certifiable Hall of Fame career. There's no denying that. It's an amazing thing. He wrestled The Undertaker at WrestleMania. How many people can say they've done that? I don't know, about 18, I guess. But bottom line is like that's quite a lot when you think about it, actually. But he hasn't beaten Eric Young, has he? When the heat's really on in the main event, that's what he hasn't done. Let's be honest. Roger Sears looks like he's about to fall asleep, bless him. But yeah, the bottom line is, I just think, from this perspective, I sit here and I think, I don't care, and I honestly, in many ways, don't feel like you deserve it for this run. CM Punk should have got it years ago. I will agree with that. He should have main evented a Mania at some point, but this one, I don't think he should. And ultimately, I really do believe if Roman Reigns ain't in that match, we're not seeing him in the main event by any means. He's probably in the middle of the card fucking around doing something else. I'm grateful that it's not CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes, because that would suck compared to what we've got on night 2, I think. It would.
Punk's main event really feels like a constellation prize because the moment we found out that Rumble next year was going to be in Riyadh,
you call it a constellation prize?
Yeah, it's a star prize, dude. I don't know if you
Yeah,
heard.
because
It's a collection of
astrology, Tanvir Mago.
I think the moment we found out that Royal Rumble next year is going to be in Riyadh, we were like, yeah, Punk's not going to Saudi, so yeah, this is basically the only year they could do it.
Why not? Why isn't he going to Saudi?
I think it's been a long enough that Punk will not go to Saudi.
Even fucking Sami Zayn goes there now.
I know.
He hasn't really got the whole woke footing anymore. Right, who do we think's winning then? Who do you think, Athena? Who do you think's winning out of this triple threat?
No,
Do you care?
not really.
Fair enough.
I really don't give a shit about this triple threat at all. Really not interested.
I suppose Paul Heyman is the most intriguing part of it, isn't he?
Yeah, but Paul Heyman.
Does he turn on anybody?
What if they throw a massive curveball and Seth Rollins wins? Because we're all thinking, Roman Reigns or CM Punk. But what about Seth Rollins, man? And he did mention to Paul Heyman that he wants a favour as well.
Yeah,
But it probably won't. But
I'm assuming the winner of this is like, how is this not for the #1 contendership, by the way? Like, for the title? Like, who's facing, like, the fact that people are like, Gunther and Jay, nobody cares because those 3 whoppers are in the main event. It's like, there must be something more to this other than just, I'm a massive ego. That's what I would have thought.
It's an ego thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but they don't, I don't know. Maybe even Austin and The Rock was based around the title for the most part until number 3. At WrestleMania 19, where it was just purely about, bragging rights and beating Austin because he'd never done it. So, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking,
I really just don't care. I just don't care about this.
I'm going to say Roman Reigns because he's the biggest star and he should win and he should go over. Roman Reigns should never lose again.
I am swaying more towards Roman Reigns, to be fair. So I do have to pick one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Carl Wilkinson, who you got?
Oh God, I don't care. I
don't fucking care. I just want to
I
inject myself with more diabetes.
just want to watch Kevin Owens, and I can't.
Oh,
I'm
we
actually
all
so
want to watch
upset.
Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I'm so upset. Um, I mean, my my brain's saying Punk because his entire run since he came back has been about main eventing WrestleMania. I mean, whether he doesn't say he has to win, but he would assume he would like to. Um, but saying it just makes my mouth bleed. Um, but but I'll give it to Seth. Why not? Let's say Seth Rollins. Why not?
All right. I've got Roman Reigns. You've got Carl Wilkinson has Seth Rollins. Tanvir, who you got?
I'm agreeing with Kyle. I'm going Seth Rollins as well.
I want to change.
What a nerd. I want to change.
He doesn't want
Tanvir
the
agrees
Union
with
of
me.
Canada
Fuck
and India.
that.
The Canadian.
All right. Roger says, who you got? CM Punk.
CM Punk.
Big fan, are you? Yeah. Yeah. You like yourself some CM Punk, do you? To be fair, I think Roger says is a better promo than CM Punk.
Yeah, he is.
I maintain that. I really believe
No,
that.
I believe that.
Yeah. Better produced as well. Don't know who's behind the camera, but great work.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
says a lot. But yeah. All right. Well, that's night one of WrestleMania, and that pretty much tops us in it. I think we've been going for about an hour and a half. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you are going to enjoy night one of WrestleMania. Have a wonderful time. Let us know in the comments below who you think is going to win. The matches. I was going to say, who's going to win WrestleMania? We're going to win because the fans
Who's gonna
always
win?
win.
Win all
The
of
fans are the real
WrestleMania.
winners because we get to see so much wrestling and it's all on Netflix for just $6.99. Oh my god!
Oh my
amazing.
god!
Fucking shut up! I just fucking yeah, on net your flicks. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let us know
Amazon,
what
you're
you thought.
prime.
Also, I was going to say, let us know if you're happy the Wrestle Plug is back, but I guarantee most people are like, oh, fucking not this Egyptian fat cunt again.
Ethnicities, no.
At least you've got some sex appeal now, right? Get out of the way. Roger Sears is over there.
Roger's always been the sex appeal.
Right, yeah, he fucking more like the fucking giant fucking dick appeal. Am I right? Fucking massive, I'll tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, from myself, Aaron Nix, from the gorgeous Athena Ray, from the delectably delicious delinquent Dorset destroyer, Roger Sears, from Tanvir, the sex offender, and of course from Kyle Wilkinson, the sexiest man in Canada ever to lace up a pair of Uggs. We thank you for watching the Wrestle Plug, and we'll see you tomorrow for Night 2's predictions. Fuck yeah. I missed the salute.